July 21st, 2025. A date that will be remembered not for a global crisis or a historic breakthrough, but for a spectacle that unfolded in the most unexpected of places. The world is its usual mess, with headlines swirling about politics and economics, but today, all eyes are glued to Mar-a-Lago, where the chaos has reached a fever pitch. Former President Donald Trump is in a state of incandescent rage, his temper flaring brighter than ever before, and the world is watching every moment. The cause of this uproar? Shiploads of American beef and pork, pride of the heartland, have been rejected at international ports, sparking a diplomatic and culinary crisis. Trump's reaction is nothing short of epic. Imagine a Twitter tirade that could set the internet ablaze, combined with a steakhouse drama that leaves everyone on edge. Picture this: a gilded room shimmering with gold, a phone nearly melting from the heat of all-caps fury, and aides scrambling to keep up with the barrage of posts. For Trump, this isn't just a trade issue, it's a personal insult to America's honor, and perhaps more importantly, to his own reputation as a champion of American greatness. He's demanding to know who's behind this so-called beef betrayal, treating the situation like a high-stakes spy thriller rather than a routine food safety dispute. On social media, he's calling it a massive insult, a globalist plot against American farmers, and in a twist only he could imagine, somehow windmills are involved in the conspiracy. The spectacle is both theatrical and alarming, with news anchors struggling to keep up and the public glued to their screens wondering what will happen next. He's treating a trade dispute like a personal vendetta, escalating every slight into a national emergency. Classic Trump, but on a whole new level. In his mind, American products are always the best. Any rejection, no matter how minor, is nothing less than an act of war against the nation's pride. He's calling for sweeping investigations, immediate tariffs, and, in a move that surprises even his closest advisors, the intervention of Space Force to protect American interests. This isn't statesmanship, it's a full-blown meltdown, broadcast live for the world to see, blurring the line between politics and performance art. And at the center of it all, his beloved steaks, now a symbol of national pride and personal obsession, fueling a tantrum that will go down in presidential history. So what's the crime our meat committed? Why did it suddenly become the center of an international scandal, with customs officials peering suspiciously at every shipment? It's not a matter of taste, nor is it about national pride or culinary rivalry. The real culprit is a chemical called ractopamine, a feed additive that stirred up more controversy than you might expect. Ractopamine is commonly used in U.S. farms to help pigs and cattle grow leaner, faster. It's a way to boost efficiency and get more meat from every animal, which sounds like a win for producers and consumers alike. The FDA, America's food watchdog, insists it's safe for both animals and humans. But here's the twist. Over 160 countries, including heavyweights like the EU, China, and Russia, have banned ractopamine outright. Their reasons? They're not convinced it's harmless. These countries cite potential health risks for people and animal welfare concerns. Some studies suggest ractopamine can stress animals or cause side effects, and that's enough for many nations to slam the door shut. So, when U.S. meat containing ractopamine arrives at their borders, the response is simple and firm. No thanks. Shipments are rejected, sometimes even sent back. This isn't some shadowy conspiracy or trade war tactic, it's just international policy, written in black and white. The debate over ractopamine has been simmering for years. To keep exports flowing, U.S. producers have even created special additive-free product lines just for these strict markets. But then the global supply chain hit a rough patch. Ports got clogged, paperwork piled up, and suddenly the wrong shipments ended up in the wrong countries. It was a paperwork disaster, an honest mistake, not a grand plot. But in the world of international trade, even small errors can have big consequences. Now, thanks to a certain someone's public meltdown, what started as a shipping error has exploded into a full-blown diplomatic incident, with politicians and diplomats trading barbs. Think of it like a peanut allergy. If you ignore the rules, your food gets rejected, no matter how good it tastes or how much you want to share it. The U.S. simply failed to double-check the ingredients before shipping, missing a crucial detail that cost them dearly. Now, exporters are left scratching their heads, shocked that their peanut-laced casserole was turned away at the border. It's not sabotage or a personal attack, it's just the reality of global standards and regulations. The world made its stance clear: no ractopamine. The U.S. missed the memo, and now the outrage is echoing around the globe. While the US throws a tantrum, Canada quietly seizes the moment. Canadian producers who've long avoided ractopamine step in to fill the gap. They've built a reputation for safe, compliant meat, no drama, just business. When international buyers needed ractopamine-free meat, Canada was ready. The result? Massive new deals and long-term contracts with Asia and Europe. Canadian exporters are working overtime, and the industry is jubilant. It's a business coup. Their competitor stumbles and Canada steps up politely. No trade war, no shouting, just standards and timing. While Americans argue, Canadians sign contracts. It's a masterclass in turning a rival's mistake into your own strength. The ultimate Canadian power play, quiet, strategic, and devastatingly effective. Sometimes the best move is simply being prepared. In the US, the mood is grim. Across the heartland, a heavy silence hangs in the air, as if the land itself is mourning. For farmers, rejected shipments mean months of work and investment lost in an instant. Every early morning, every late night, every dollar spent on feed and care, gone with a single phone call or email. The financial hit is huge, millions in sales vanish. For many, it's not just numbers on a page, but the difference between survival and foreclosure. The rejected meat floods the domestic market, causing prices to crash. Shelves overflow, but profits disappear, and the surplus becomes a symbol of wasted effort. Farmers lose export deals and see their home market collapse. The phone rings with bad news, and hope fades with every unsold shipment. This crisis threatens multi-generational farms. Legacies built over decades, sometimes centuries, now hang by a thread. As families wonder if they'll be the last to work this land, the pain spreads, meatpacking plants cut shifts, layoffs loom, and rural economies suffer. Small towns feel the ripple, as jobs dry up and main streets empty out. Truckers, feed suppliers, veterinarians, everyone feels the shock. The entire support network that keeps agriculture running is suddenly at risk, with livelihoods on the line. It's a chain reaction, all from failing to meet global standards. One misstep, and the consequences echo through every link in the supply chain. Meanwhile, leadership offers only angry tweets and finger-pointing. The airwaves fill with blame, but little comfort reaches those who need it most. For those on the ground, slogans don't pay bills or reopen markets. The reality is harsh, and the solutions feel far away. What's needed? Real solutions, a plan to regain market access, and support for struggling communities. Farmers and townsfolk gather, hoping for answers, but often leave with more questions. Instead, they get a political circus. The noise drowns out the real issues, and the people most affected are left waiting for action. The result? Economic hardship, uncertainty, and frustration. Families tighten their belts, businesses close, and the future feels more uncertain than ever. The American agricultural ecosystem is in crisis. Fields that once promised abundance now stand as reminders of what's at stake. And it all started with a single, avoidable mistake, a moment's error that set off a storm, leaving a nation's farmers to pick up the pieces. North of the border, it's a different story. For Canadian meat exporters, this is a windfall. Phones ring off the hook, orders pour in, and plants ramp up production. The US rejection created a vacuum, and Canada filled it, fast. Canadian farmers see prices rise and secure long-term contracts. It's unprecedented prosperity for the sector. The government and industry quietly celebrate, pointing to their commitment to quality and safety. This isn't just about selling more meat, it's about building a global brand. Canada is now the go-to source for premium, reliable meat. Years ago, they chose compliance over shortcuts. That bet has paid off spectacularly. They've captured a huge slice of the market through patience and smart policy. Sometimes, boring decisions lead to extraordinary results. The ripple effects go far beyond farms. In the US, meatpacking slowdowns threaten thousands of jobs and local economies. Consumers might see short-term discounts, but the long-term outlook is bleak. If farms and plants close, supply shrinks and prices could rise later. It's a classic boom and bust cycle, and the bust is coming. In Canada, the boom creates jobs and economic growth. But with so much meat exported, Canadian shoppers may face higher prices at home. Success abroad can mean tighter supply and costlier groceries at home. This episode shows how interconnected our food system is. A single additive decision in Iowa affects prices in Toronto and jobs in Nebraska. The winners and losers are clear for now, but the long-term impact is complex. The food supply web is delicate, and it's been shaken. The story isn't over yet. This isn't just about ractopamine, it's about global food safety philosophies. The US trusts its science. If it's not proven harmful, it's allowed. The EU and many others follow the precautionary principle. If there's doubt, don't risk it. That's why ractopamine is banned in so many places. Canada aligned with the cautious approach, prioritizing market access over marginal gains. The US stuck to its standards, often pressuring others to follow suit. It's a clash of philosophies, played out in trade deals and shipping containers. As global consumers demand more transparency, stricter standards become a competitive edge. The US faces a choice: adapt or risk losing access to key markets. The future of American exports hangs in the balance. For consumers, this trade war means confusion and higher costs. In the US, a meat surplus brings short-term bargains, but the underlying industry is hurting. When farms close, future prices rise and choices shrink. It's a sugar rush now, but the crash is coming. In Canada, export success means tighter supply and higher prices at home. Canadians may watch their country feed the world while paying more for dinner. What's good for exports isn't always good for shoppers. Both sides face instability, one from collapse, the other from booming demand. The predictable, affordable food supply everyone relies on is at risk, all because of a disagreement over what to feed a pig. Where do we go from here? This is more than a trade spat, it's a turning point. For the US, it's a wake-up call. The world won't just accept American standards. The industry must choose double down and fight, or adapt and regain trust. Adaptation means investing in ractopamine-free lines, better tracking and transparency. It could even mean phasing out the additive entirely. The world's message is clear. Will US producers listen? For Canada, the challenge is managing success. They must maintain standards and ensure their own citizens aren't priced out. Their future depends on proving this isn't a fluke, but a sustainable strategy. This is a parable for global trade safety and consumer trust matter as much as price. Those who adapt will thrive, those who don't will be left behind. The North American meat market has changed forever. The world is watching to see who learns the right lessons.